This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Now it's time to head to the other side of the world. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with another new game from my library, and this time it's Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition for the PC. This version I'm playing on Steam, but you can get it on GOG and other such places like that. This is Harebrained Schemes, third and final addition into the Shadowrun universe. I don't know if they plan on making any others. I haven't heard anything. The only last thing we heard about this was the release of the console version like last year, at least at the time of this recording anyway. So, Hong Kong, like the name suggests, takes place instead of, in the first game it was Seattle, sort of. The second game was in Germany. Now we're going all the way to Hong Kong. So now the time to go somewhere completely different. And yeah, if you wanted a different completely atmosphere that was different from like the tall megaliths of Seattle or like the dingy darkness of like Germany, well, you've got a new place to go to. And for the longest time I thought this was my favorite, but after playing Dragonfall, that might have been my favorite. But let's go back into it again. There'll be a couple reasons why I kind of like this game. So for those who watched my other playthroughs, it's going to be similar. For those who are new, I'll generally go over the game mechanics and stuff like that, but not too much since I've already done it multiple times. So anyway, oh yeah, the extended edition, like Dragonfall's director's cut, is basically added stuff in the game. And there's also, unlike the original game, in this version, there's an extended scenario after the game's over. It doesn't automatically start. You have to start a new game and load up an old file from the final mission, and then you can play that extended scenario. So, anyway, let's choose new game, and we're going to do just the main game. Like I said, the bonus is the extra content at the beginning. So let's launch the campaign and head on to Hong Kong. But why would we go there in the first place? Let's find out. Alright, so in this mode, we got 3 different difficulties. We got easy, normal, and hard. Normal is your standard setting. Easier is for those who want to get involved in story. Enemies hit less, or they don't hit as much damage, and they don't have as much HP. Hard is basically you have to be a bit more tactically aware of how to play the game, and just be kind of aware of your character builds and stuff like that. But we'll stick with normal difficulty on this case, so I probably could play it on hard, but anyway, time to make our character. You could play either male or female. Doesn't really affect anything majorly in the game other than like pronouns and stuff like that. Other than that, there might be a few like characters that mention it, but for the most part, it's nothing big. So choose female or male, doesn't matter. We got 5 different races to choose from. Humans are your standard humans. Shadowrun, for those who are unaware, Shadowrun is basically an alternate world where all of a sudden in 2012, magic erupted and people transformed into all different races of fantasy genre: elves, dwarves, orcs, trolls, and then if you get the supplementary books, variations on that. So the benefit of humans is that they have all their stats are the same at 9, which is their max stats. They get a bonus +3 karma, which karma is your experience in the game. That's how you boost up your stats and everything like that to get more powerful. Humans were the only race on Earth until the Awakening in 2012. Now they find themselves the definition of average or even normal. They are still the most populous race in the world, and thus control many of the most powerful, moneyed, and important positions in society. Now we got the elf. Many people consider elves to be the most fortunate humans. They are more attractive and socially accepted than the other metahuman types races. Elves are taller than humans, but have a more slender builds. Their hair is usually thicker, longer, and more luxurious than average, and the ears come to a point. Elves get a bonus to their charisma, but elves, if you're looking to do a specific character stat, I'll go over why in a second, but they're really good for charisma, so they'd be good face characters in the game if you want to do with talking and stuff like that. But they don't lose anything major, and their quickness stat can go up to 11, and their charisma stat can go up to 12, so they don't lose anything in the process. However, well, not in this case with the dwarf, but the next case, the smaller of the races, the dwarves. Dwarves are the shortest of the metahuman races. Although their torso and shoulders are wider than their size would indicate, thus their strength is equal to and sometimes greater than the larger races. Dwarves get a +1 to their willpower, and their good stats are body at 11, strength at 12, and willpower at 11, 9s and everything else, so not bad. Let's go on to the orc. Orcs are the fastest breeding race and now are second only to human in world population. Their size leads to an intimidating silhouette and body that can take more physical damage than the average. Orcs have pointed ears and intimidating teeth or tusks. They get +1 to their body, so body is their best stat at 14. They also get 9s in quickness, 12 in strength. Their charisma is a little bit lower, and intelligence is also lower at 8. Doesn't necessarily mean they're stupid, but their propensity for growth in that area is reduced. And they also got a willpower 9. And finally, the troll. Don't feed the trolls. Trolls are the largest metahuman race. Heavy prejudice against them has led people to assume trolls have lower intelligence, but in reality, there's no proof of this. Trolls have pointed ears, intimidating teeth or tusks, and many have horn-like growths that other metahumans do not manifest. They have a +1 to body and strength, so their body can go up to 17, so they can take a lot of damage, and their strength, and so they can dish out the damage too. But their quickness is reduced to 8, or maximum quickness is reduced to 8. Their charisma can only go up to 6, intelligence can go up to 6 only, and willpower. So trolls have a very specific type of class you can build them into, or they're limited to their max potential. But anyway, in the first game, Shadowrun Returns, I played a troll physical adept. In Dragonfall, I played a human decker / rigger. And this time, I'm going to play a dwarf. Well, let's go over the archetypes and let's see what I want to play. So you can go over the street samurai. They're basically the fighters of the group. Street samurai are freelance operatives who follow a code of street honor. They are learned in the ways of the traditional samurai warrior and in the practices of modern combat. Some sell their skills for profit, while others work to take out the discernible scum that seem to breed in the urban sprawl. Key attributes are body strength or quickness. Key skills, close to range combat, or both, throw weapons, and dodge. So trolls make really good street samurai overall. I mean, any class could do it, but trolls are probably the best for that class. That, or maybe even physical adept, because of a lot of their bonuses, even with their because their willpower isn't even that low. But I'll go over that in a second. But yeah. Anyway, we also got the mage. Mages specialize in the casting of spells, though that doesn't mean they can't use physical weapons as well. Their spells cover a wide range of magical effects, from offensive damage attacks to character augmentation and degradation spells to healing spells. Key attribute, willpower, spellcasting. So probably the best race for just straight up being a wizard is probably the dwarf, just because of their max willpower potential. But like I said, you could play anyone. Really, the max stats near the end aren't, I wouldn't say are crazy better, but they can make a little bit of a difference. So that's why you can basically play anyone you want. You just have to kind of be aware of it. If you're playing on the harder modes, obviously pay attention to this a lot more. Okay, now we also got the Deckers. Deckers use a cyber deck to jack into the Matrix, the worldwide information grid, and computer network. By projecting their minds into electronic worlds, Deckers can find secrets others keep hidden away. They use programs and expert systems to fight off the protections that megacorporations place in their way. So their key attribute is intelligence. So out of all the races, there's no specific person who plays a Decker super well, but their big thing is intelligence, and they need the decking skill and expert systems as a specialization, but we'll go over what those are in a second. But anyway, next is the shaman. Shamans believe that their magic comes from a totem spirit that guides their life path. Their relationship allows them to summon spirits and command them to do their bidding. Shamans have the ability to conjure spells that mages cannot. Key attribute, charisma, so elves probably would make the best shamans overall. Their key skill is spirit summoning, conjuring, and spirit control. What they do is they're mages that can summon spirits to help them. Summon spirits can be really useful, but they can also have a drawback too, depending on the RNG of the game. But they're useful to create an extra body to basically help you in a fight. They just have a little weakness with that, but I'll go over that in the game if it ever comes up. Riggers use specialized cyber tech to control small robot-like vehicles called drones with their minds. They can use this ability to provide surveillance support and extra firepower when required. So riggers are their big key attribute is intelligence. They need drone control and drone combat. So you could actually make a drone. You could actually turn a Decker into a rigger pretty easily, or make a combination of both. So, but riggers are basically all about summoning robots using robots to help you. So another case of having extra guys in battle can always help, especially on the higher difficulties. But these could be interchangeable quite easily. But yeah, intelligence. So anyone can really play it. No one has a severely reduced intelligence except for the trolls. So trolls would obviously make very poor riggers, but that's up to you. And finally, the physical adept. Adepts are magically active characters who focus their magic internally and seeking to reach their utmost potential physically, mentally, and spiritually. As adepts unlock new abilities, they become honed physical machines, using their magic to enhance their close combat abilities. Key attributes are body strength and willpower, and their key skill is key casting. So trolls would make really good physical adepts as well, but like I said, either class would do it. And you can also choose none and just build the character however you want. Now this is fine for most cases. The only case I would say stick with a specific archetype at the very beginning is either the decker or rigger. Mainly the decker, because if you choose to create a custom character but you basically make a decker, you end up not getting a cyber deck or a cyber deck at the very beginning of the game. You'd actually have to buy it because of the way the game's coded. So if you're playing a decker, just choose the decker archetype and make some slight adjustments to it. But in this case, like I said, in the first game I played a physical adept. Second game I played a decker rigger. So now it's time to go wizard. So now we're going to go with a mage. And we're going to choose a dwarf mage. Yes. Yeah, for those who played fantasy games before, most people don't expect the wizard mage, so that's got to surprise the heck out of everyone. So now when you choose a character, you can choose their portrait. Some of the portraits are crafted for the game. Some of them are Kickstarter backers, because this game, like Dragonfall and Shadowrun Returns, was part of a Kickstarter program, so people who kickstarted enough money can get their portraits in the game. So some of these guys are actually people that are put into the game. So let's see, and yeah, some of these guys are going to be basically the same person with just a different thing on them. So let's see. Ooh, I like that one. I might go with that one actually. Let's just take a quick look. I like the guy with the big old beard though. Let's see. Not bad. Some nice choices there. They kind of give the whole gamut of like different types of dwarves. Now let's go with that one guy with the red eyes. Yeah, I like that. Almost the pentagram on his head or something like that. Even though there's probably more of a design for a shaman than a mage. I don't know why I guess I could just leave him as is. I don't really have to do much with him really. So all right, you could actually change like the beard and stuff like that if you're like by unlocking it and messing with it. But I kind of like how it looks. Well, let's see. Actually, he just has the chin beard. I wonder if I can change it to. Not that it really matters. It's not like you can really see this anyway. Like you're hardly ever going to look at your character model himself in battle, so that's more for just personal taste. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, I think. So alright, spender karma. Karma represents the experience characters earned while running the shadows and achieving goals. Karma is used to improve attributes and skills. An attribute or skill can be increased by spending karma equal to the next increment of that rating. Thus, improving body from 4 to 5 equals, it requires you to spend 5 karma points. You have some karma available now to customize your character. Alright, so we got 26 available right now. Now in this game, like all the other games, it's a really good idea to focus on like 2 or 3 skills and stats to really focus on and not diverge too much if you want to like max them out or at least have full potential on them throughout the whole game. If you're playing on easy mode, obviously you could mix and match a little bit overall. But okay, so alright. So since we're playing a wizard, we want high willpower, which we've already got a decent amount already. We also want our spellcasting line to be available as well. So for being a wizard, willpower is our thing. So willpower, used to calculate the chance to hit with hermetic magic spells and key casting attacks. Helps boost resistance against certain magic attacks such as mana bolt. So you mages have hard times hitting each other with mages, but I haven't seen a mage who's smart enough to dodge a bullet though. So, but anyway, we also have the spellcasting ability on here. And by the way, this is set up a bit differently than the previous game. As you can see, the screen is slightly altered from the previous campaign. But anyway, spellcasting requires to cast hermetic magic, used to calculate the chance to hit with hermetic spells, increasing the skill unlocks spell book slots and the ability to see dragon lines. Dragon lines will pop up in combat and give you a boost to your magic. So, all right. So if right now we have dragon line visible and increased spell book slot, which means how many spells we can equip to our character before going into battle. If we get this, we can get visibles through field of vision. So let's see, let's build that up a little bit. Let's get the next spellbook slot. Okay, we're not going to do key casting because key casting is for physical adepts. This physical adepts basically use their fists or sword weapons or melee weapons to do damage. So we're not going to be doing that. Charisma would be something to consider, depending if you want to be a face character. Charisma, one of its things is that it's used in dialogue to manipulate people or convince people to do one thing or the other. Also, while buying into charisma, you also have the ability to unlock etiquettes. What etiquettes are specific lingo or reactions that you learn from people, and you can communicate with them through that. So let me pop it up just to show off really quick. So here's the etiquettes. So it dictates your knowledge of social situations. So you have corporate, which is basically, those who work in the corporate world, suits and all that. Security is like your cops and Lone Star and stuff like that. Gangs are, gangs. Socialite are, the Rudy Tooty Snooty, the hoi polloi of society. Shadowrunners are those like yourselves who run the shadows and do jobs and stuff like that. And academic. Early in the game, Shadowrunner and gang used a bit. Academic gets used the most in the whole game, but all it does is usually enhance conversation. There's only I think one mission in the game that truly affects the mission if you have academic. Probably the ones that can affect combat in specific ways are security, corporate, and socialite. They have the ability to, especially security, has the ability to shut down, possibly shut down encounters with certain characters. The only problem is usually it prompts you to also have another conversation blip with it, either charisma or something else with it. But if you're going to do it, like I said, that's your options there. But security would be pretty useful too. But let's revert that back really quick. And then, you can conjure. Basically, conjuring is the same as magic except for summoning stuff. Spirit summon powers up your spirit summons. Spirit control is how you can control the spirit. If you lose control of the spirit, it can either disappear or attack you, which sucks. We also have intelligence, which is used for decking. Biotech, what that does is it helps you heal when you use medkits, which medkits are your basically health potions or whatever in the game. Decking is your ability to hack into the matrix. The stronger your eye, the better cyber decks you can equip, the more programs you can use, and the easier it is for you to attack things in the matrix. ESP control, ESP are expert systems that you can basically you can summon things to help you in the matrix, to help you fight, because most times you're going to be by yourself in the matrix, but this allows you to get extra people to help you. Drone control is some controlling the robot. The higher rank you have, the better drone you can buy, and the better it can do. And then if you have higher levels, you can equip up to 2 drones. And then drone combat allows your drone to get small bonuses as well as just better chances to hit, like better accuracy, dodge, AP, stuff like that. Strength is your ability to smack stuff. If you have high strength, if you're using a melee build or throwing weapons, and the higher level it is, the higher chance to hit and how much damage you can do. Throwing weapons also improves your chance to hit with thrown weapons like throwing blades. You can also get unique attacks if you have higher throwing weapons. Close combat, as if you're using fists or just in general, gives you special abilities, better chance to hit in melee, stuff like that. Melee weapons are swords and stuff like that. Same thing with melee weapons. Unarmed for just your fists yourself. Let's see, quickness. Quickness allows you to hit better in combat with ranged weapons like guns, so improve that for that. Dodge, your ability to dodge physical attacks, melee and unarmed. Ranged combat, your ability to hit better with guns, and you get special abilities if you have high range combat. And then pistol, MSG, shotgun, and rifle are unique abilities you can unlock for that specific type of weapon, depending on how your build is. And finally, body. Body is your ability to take damage. So every time you buff it up enough, you can get high HP. And then cyberware affinity, what that does is in this game of Shadowrun, you can take out bits of your body and put in metal bits, and that improves your abilities in certain areas over others. Since we're playing a mage, I won't be doing that because using cyberware reduces your essence, and the lower essence you have, the less your magical abilities will work. So shamans and mage users or mages don't put in cyberware. It's not good for you. But if you're playing like a astute samurai or anyone else other than the major, that'd be fine. All right, let's go ahead and put our stats in. So, all right, let's beef up our spell casting a little bit. Let's beef up our body a little bit. And I probably will eventually buy a gun just as a backup, just in case. Might just do pistols or something like that. Let's see. Also, just quickness in general helps me not get hit by ranged combat in general. So, I do eventually just want to build up mainly willpower and spell casting. I might do 5 just to get me a good decent chunk. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I probably won't build up my pistol too much. I probably just build up like a little bit over the course of the game. Like I said, I'll mainly use magic. Yeah, let's get one more spell casting. And actually, I think we would do like one more body. Actually, would be good. I could do charisma to 4 and get myself an etiquette. That would help at least in certain parts of the game. That's a tough one. Decisions. Let's see. Yeah, you know, let's build up our charisma a little bit just to do that. We'll choose academic just to be fun. All right, let's do it. Oh, that's the other etiquette for being level 2. Let's do security. All right. Let's see. Okay. We got our first name, so we'll call ourselves Pikel. Boulder Shoulder. And finally, our street name is Wiggles. You know, Finger Waggler and all that because we're wizards, so. Nice.
You have one new message.
Hi. It's Raymond. I hope I have the right number. Look, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but I need your help. Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story, that if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. Yeah. I was wrong. I'm on my way to Hong Kong now, to finish something I should have faced a long time ago. And I need you with me. I know we're not blood, and we didn't leave things in a good place, but you and Duncan are the only real family I have. Please, if our past means anything to you, meet me in Hong Kong right away. I'll explain more when you get here. I'm begging you. I'm almost out of time.
Well. We have cinematics. Ooh, going up in the big leagues now, aren't we? So, all right, let's see what we've got here. Hard landing. Raymond Black. The old man gave you a home once, took you and Duncan off the gang-ridden streets of the Barrens, sheltered, educated, and slapped sense into you both until you almost resembled protective members of society. And then you took off, left it all behind, landed behind bars for a time, tried to start a new life after that. It's been 8 years since you've heard Raymond's voice, until out of the blue you got this cryptic message, a plea for help. Meet me in Hong Kong right away, and wire to your account enough Nuyen to pay for the flight and then some. The descent is rough. A squall comes out of nowhere, sending a solid sheet of rain punching into the suborbital transport with a ragged shudder. The plane finally skids to halt at the edge of the Czech-Lap Kok tarmac. An hour and an interminable number of emotionless security checkpoints later, you hail a water taxi to Victoria Harbor. Hong Kong looms ahead, pulsing with energy. Hong Kong, Victoria Harbor, August 2056, Monsoon Sea. You step from the churning of the water taxi to the ponderous rocking of the docks, your stomach lurching at the transition. As soon as you're clear, the captain nods once and steers the small craft back into the harbor. The man never said a word, just handed you a worn brown duffel bag when you stepped on board filled with gear, some stiff new body armor and a note. Better safe than sorry, D. Above, smog-thick clouds hang low in the sky, reflecting the lights of the city in a nauseating swirl. The wind changes directions more than once, creating a heady stew of aromas, diesel, sea salt, street food, and filth. It's all you can do to keep your in-flight meal where it belongs. Two figures standing waiting in the dim light of the pier. The first is an orc, lean and in your face, muscles and a jaw made to break fists. The second is an elf, one hand resting casually against her hip. Raymond Black is nowhere to be seen. Well, don't you look like shit. Duncan Wu, the closest thing you have to a brother. You haven't seen the man in 8 years. Still as charming as ever. He grins. Green's not really your color, Pikel. Doesn't go with that nice new armor I got you. As you open your mouth to respond, something shifts alarmingly in your stomach. A liquid, bubbling sensation. Now, if you say nice to see, basically if you say anything other than the body, you'll basically throw up. So, obviously not a big deal, just one of the things in this game, because sometimes there will be decisions that have like nothing to do with anything, it's just for flavor, so keep that in mind. Body 3, tough it out. Don't know what you're talking about. Must be the harbor lights messing with you. Must be. Guess you still got some of your old fortitude, I guess. He laughs. Considering how much synthesol we used to put down, I'd be surprised if you couldn't handle a little chop. Anyway, we gotta go find Raymond. Where's the old man? Never showed up. He's still got that same baritone rasp. Had it since he was 12. Wu developed early. No clue. Let's see. No sense saying. When was the last time you saw him? A few weeks ago. Before I got his message telling us to meet him here. I've been working a lot, so I hadn't been by the house in a while. Any idea what's going on? The orc bows his head. His voice sounds far away. No clue. All I know is that Raymond hasn't been himself in a long time. The Raymond that I remember was a bit distant to begin with. This is different. He's been restless, staying in his study, inside his own head a lot, and he barely sleeps anymore. I've been worried about him, but I haven't figured out what to do about it. He looks up at you and shrugs. And I didn't have a brother to turn to. Hell, wasn't too sure you were even alive still until Raymond managed to track you down your number. The woman standing beside him breaks in. We should get going, Duncan. Head back to the meeting point in case your dad shows up. Copy that, Sarge. They're wearing Lone Star body armor. Looks like Duncan Wu's gone private police. You his girlfriend or something? Oh, hell no. The corner of her mouth flicks upward in amusement. I'm his partner. The woman taps her chest with an armored finger. Carter. I figured I could use some backup. Didn't know what Ray had gotten himself into, and I wasn't sure you were going to show up. It's a toss to offer Mark, but there's an undercurrent of resentment in it. You got something you want to say? Nope. He shakes his head. Hey, look, I'm glad you're here, Pikel. Seriously, but I'm going to need some time to get used to having you around again. Been a while since I heard from you. You know what I mean? Memories of sleepless nights and lockup flash by, wondering if you'd ever see Duncan or Raymond again. Wondering if you even wanted to. And then stepping out into the daylight, suddenly free, the fallout of some obscure corporate restructuring, a few $100 million worth of apology from your former jailers, and the decision to start a new life, to leave the past behind, all of it, until now. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, okay? Whoosh stares at you, his goggles reflecting the harbor lights. Yeah, okay. He scans the waterfront, frowning. Let's just find Raymond. He's supposed to meet us in the plaza at the other side of this pier. The sooner we find him, the sooner you all can have a big, happy family reunion over dinner. Carter grins. And the sooner I can find a place to get a drink around here. Damn right. Ahead of you, Hong Kong rises serpent-like from the sea. Government and megacorp coil together, writhing in their basket of institutionalized corruption. No one can tell where the snake's body ends and its tail begins. That's what Raymond used to say. Duncan turns and starts down the pier. Carter follows. Alright, well, let's see what's going on here. Anything we can interact with? If you use the mouse to click on areas with this little mouse key, click it, you move towards it. If you press the Alt key, you can highlight stuff that can be interacted with. So I'll be using that quite a bit. Fresh construction is expanding the harbor out into the water. Corporate interests can afford to create new streets. That's all it takes. So, alright. And yeah, just kind of be aware of your surroundings. Sometimes if there's encounters, you can see them on the map, so, you know, keep keep abreast of your situation. I can't get in there. It's locked. With a mighty lock, indeed. Not much around here. Let's head on to the locked gate, then. The guard shack at the end of the pier is dark and empty. Duncan gives the gate a push, but doesn't budge. Huh. Well, that was open earlier. Duncan frowns. Looks pretty solid. Shouldn't there be someone here to let us in or out or something? Yeah, smells a little funny, don't it? Carter shrugs. Who knows? It's Hong Kong. Not exactly sure how things work around here. Come on, rookie. We can cut through the construction site. I hate it when you call me that. A little bit playful there, I guess, but I guess she's the commanding officer in this case. Sounds like it. Hey, let's check the security checkpoint here. The gate is locked, but the nearby control panel appears accessible. Carter pulls it open with a metallic screech that pierces your skull, sending a new wave of pain down to your churning stomach. She examines the control panel for a moment, then throws Wu a backward glance. Looks like there's another way off the docks on the other side of the gate. I think they can bypass the lock. Now, if we have a intelligence of 3, we can crack it and open it, but this is another flavor situation. It's not important to have it, but if you did have it, you could choose to do that. Stand aside and let her work. Carter fiddles with some wires, and a door lock hisses open. Got it, let's go. I don't know why the game lets you look around. There's really not much to do for looking around. Just let her do it, you know what I mean? So, but, yeah. Anyway, let's go in. So, I don't know why I clicked away from that. Yeah, I'm good with finger waggling, but not so much with the mechanical stuff. Movement? What? Uh-oh. Shouting in Cantonese. More Cantonese. Too quick to catch. I don't understand Cantonese. Yeah, I like the, I do like the combat music in this game. You know, a highlight of, you know, that Eastern type of feel with, you know, some of the Shadowrun bling, you know. The group on the dock was fishing a package out of a speedboat when you surprised them. Now the package is at the bottom of the bay, and the speedboat is disappearing into the distance. They close on you, red-faced and yelling. The light of the harbor glints off of their weapons as they approach. Their leader shouts something in Cantonese, but it's too fast to make out. You're rusty. It's been years since Raymond's house and the language lessons that went in. The old man never spoke anything but his native language at home. Wu speaks with authority. His Cantonese is as solid as ever. He never let it drop. You guys doing some late-night fishing? Tattooed gunman. The smuggler smiles. Oh yeah, we're fishing for assholes. Wu points at their weapons. We're gonna need some better bait. All you're gonna catch with that is trouble. Whisper to Duncan. Seriously, did they teach you that in a rent-a-cop school? He turns to you with a smile, starting on his face, and then he thinks better of it. Turns back to the smugglers. Wu flashes his badge. Lone Star, put the guns down. The smuggler squints at Wu's badge and smiles at his friends. Never seen a badge like that before. Either it's fake or you're some kind of security guard. He grasps his rifle. Either way, this ends the same. I think he's done talking. Alright, we're in combat. So yeah, this game uses turn-based combat. So basically it's, well, I'll show you. It goes on your turn and then the enemy's turn. That's pretty much how it goes. So if we could choose how we go on our turn. So you see our icons here at the top. Each one indicates a character. So this one's me. If I click on this one, it goes to Duncan. Click on this one, goes to Carter. Each person has their own abilities. And if you highlight the screen here, as you can see a 1 and a location. That means it takes 1 action point to move to that location. As you can see here, Carter has 2 action points. So depending on where you want to move, you know, you might waste a whole turn moving, but that's just how it is. In this game, you want to make sure to try and flank enemies because it makes it easier to hit them. And 2, you also don't want to be flanked yourself because, you know, you could be easier to hit as well. Now, these little shield icons indicate a cover system, which means it increases your chance to dodge attacks, depending on how the shield is. Half a shield, I forgot, is like 25%, I think, and then like a full shield is like 50%. We don't have anything that has a full shield, unfortunately. You also have to be aware of line of vision as well, so if you put yourself in front of something, you have to be careful that you might block out your vision for something. So, for example, I can move here to get a full shield, but I still want to do something on my turn. So, let's move here. Okay, so Carter is our wizard character, so she can she has an ability. She can either use her fist, which is this icon right here, or she can use a power bolt. That's a basic attack for her. She can also cast aim, which increases our chance to hit by 8 to 12%, lasts for 2 turns. She can cast mana ball, which is an area effect spell that can hit multiple targets. She can cast strip armor, which strips enemies' armor off of them, which makes it easier to hit and damage. She can also heal a target by healing them. Healing works as it takes whatever your previous damage increment was and heals it completely. So if you took 1 damage, it'll heal 1. If you took 10 damage, it'll take 10. However, if you get hit with multiple attacks, it'll heal whatever your last damage was. So if you got hit for 10 and then next got hit for 1, she'll only heal 1 damage, unfortunately. That's just how it works. Your HP does heal at the end of a turn or when the combat's over, so don't worry about that part. And finally, Armor 1, which gives you a +2 to your armor, which means you can reduce the damage taken to you by abilities and stuff like that. So, let's have, I like hitting better in the game, so let's cast Aim on Duncan. He's our resident street samurai-ish type, which means he has a better chance to hit most people. So let's move a little bit closer. So right now he has an assault rifle, so he has 2 options down here at the bottom. He has single shot, which does one bit of damage with one bit of damage with 1 bullet. I can also do aim shot, which increases my ability to hit by 50%. And you see that little number there with the little clock? That's its cooldown time. So if I use it, it'll take 3 turns for that to come back. So be aware of using that ability. So all right, so let's see. You're out in the open, so I should probably attack you. Okay, and you don't have to take your full turn. I could switch to me and do something while I'm thinking about what to do with him, for example. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and hit you with the assault rifle. Nice. All right, we got 1.5 crit damage and 12 damage from his weapon. Very good. All right, so I want to get in front of on this, because this is a dragon line here, and this improves my casting abilities if I stand on it. And if I hit here, I'll be on a full shield, so it means I'll get full cover. So. Alright, nice. Missed. Ooh, flanked. Didn't think I was in a flanking position, but alright. Alright, that missed. Alright, now it's our turn. So I need to heal since I got hit pretty badly. So let's heal. Yeah, heals at 22 wounds. And then let's go. Let's see. You're right there. I could just hit you with a mana bolt. Not flanked on you, so she did 1.5 damage and crit him. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, we got him flanked since where we're at, so we can hit him again. Oh, we have the ability to burst fire too if we want, but I don't think that's really necessary for this. So yeah, let's go and hit him again. Nice. He's down. All right. So now, since we're on our ley line, our magic abilities are a little bit more powerful. We also have the ability to heal wounds, and we have mana bolt. Standing on this reduces my cooldown time for my spells. As you can see there's a 2 there, and then there's a 1 there. So let's see. Probably should hit the wizard. All right. Nice little bit of damage there. And since I don't, since my mana bolt is out, let's go and hit power bolt for a single attack. Oh, and sorry, Mana Bolt is just a really powerful power bolt. I was thinking there's another spell later on that's an area of effect spell, so my apologies. I'm mixing up my different spells here. But anyway, let's start this guy. Oh, nice, we hit. Ow. Oh, nice, missed this time. Doing pretty good. All right. Let's see. You know, I got that Mana Bolt again. Let's go and do that. Oh, you're in the open. Let's do that. Bam. Yeah, and it reflected too. So there is a chance for your magic to reflect against targets. It mainly happens if you're... It more or less will happen if you're on a dragon line more than anything. But I guess we could just keep hitting him. Nice. Got a crit. Awesome. Yeah, there's a small chance to get crits, which will improve your damage. That's one of those things where it's just like, you just kind of hope it happens. You know, anyway, it's a... Ooh, we could throw a grenade at them. That might kill both of them. That's a 58% though. Do I still have the... I still have the aim ability up. And I can't really improve that anymore. Okay, well anyway, let's try throwing a grenade. So we got a couple of different grenades here. We either got a Spirit Flashbang Grenade, which what it does is it doesn't do damage. It just basically flashes people and reduces their AP, so they get less attacks. But since they're almost dead, let's go and shoot a Fachette Frag Grenade at them, which has a possibility of doing 12 damage. And depending on where you sit it, it has a certain chance to hit. So in this case, it'll be 55 or 58% chance to hit. What that means is it might hit that spot. It might still hit them. If you fail, it'll just go off in a direction though. So let's see what happens then. Nice. Killed both of them. Do you think those guys were Triad? I don't know. Not sure. I don't recognize their tattoos. Now let's find out. Let's keep going. Oh, by the way, there's an achievement for killing like up to 5 guys with grenades if you're curious about that. Another security checkpoint. Let's see. Ooh, a pickup. Let's see what's in here. Alright, we got some Toko, an illegal street drug made from the leaked kamikaze formula. Adds +1 body, +1 strength, and +1 willpower for 5 rounds. Every time the user is attacked, the strength increases. Ooh, yes please. Yeah, in this world, drugs are good, okay? Not in real life, but in this game they're good. Yeah, you don't even have to worry about addiction. Not like Fallout or anything like that, so... Okay, just seeing if there was anything else here, so... Yeah, we just basically ruined a smuggler's day. Alright, let's go to this security checkpoint. Another gate panel. This one's been vandalized and busted up good. A real nightmare of a repair job. Wu stares at the fence, considering loops and whirls of razor wire glittering in the lamplight. Looks etched with monofilament. The corporations don't screw around. Duncan and I have hopped plenty of fences before. It'll be fine. She smirks. No, it won't. They use a kind of concertina on prison walls back in the UCAS. Goes through bone like a propeller through sea foam. Duncan nods his agreement. We aren't touching it. How about it, Carter? Think you can get the gate opening? She winks at him. What do you think? She eyeballs the job. It'll take me a few minutes, though. Frowning, she leans in to get a closer look at the mangled fuse box. A few seconds later, she starts pulling wires and yanking fuses, a look of intense concentration on her face. I thought she was a mage. In Cantonese, Pikel. He sounds like Raymond when he does that. What's with the lecture, Wu? His face is impassive. I could tell you couldn't follow everything those smugglers were shouting. You're rusty and that's dangerous. Only Cantonese from now on, just like when we lived in Raymond's house. Those endless drills are about to pay off. Fine, it's Ray's mother tongue from here on. The pen of my aunt is still sitting on the end table. Satisfied? He shakes his head, continuing Cantonese. You gonna be a dicker out this, Pikel? We're in Hong Kong, only Cantonese from now on. We're just like when we lived in Raymond's house. Those endless drills are about to pay off. Just like it's coming back, won't be a problem. He nods once, satisfied, then turns his back and scans the horizon. At least you can still handle yourself in a fight. So you're a Lone Star now, huh? His back's still to you. That's right. Aren't you wondering what I've been up to for the last 8 years? Still giving you his back. Nope. The silence between you gets louder, heavier. Then it's broken by a sudden wailing screech. Wu's hand goes to his holster. The screech is replaced by the sound of grinding wheels. Glancing over to the console, you see Carter grinning back at you. Got it. Well, that was awkward. And a lot of decisions, clicks in this game when it comes to dialogue choices, a lot of them are just flavor. Sometimes they'll be important, but not in this case. The light from the nearby vendor stall stabs into your eyes, triggering a throbbing ache in the back of your skull. You stop short, squinting as rough voices drift on the wind. Where's everyone else? Where's the damn shipment? Haven't seen them yet. We just got here. The voice becomes intimate. Long ways, probably waiting for us so we can haul it out of the boat for him. That lazy bastard. Let's just hang out here. Let's him find us. Carter keeps her voice low. Looks like we're on a stroll through Smuggler Cart Central. These gangs don't know we're here. We could probably just slip past. Or we could clip them. They're already looking for us. Might be able to take them out now. Well, we've got the element of surprise on our side. Alright, so now we have the ability of ambushing enemies. So while unaware hostiles are on screen, press the holster button to enter turn-based combat mode. And then we can choose to attack them or whatever. So you can choose to move around if you don't want to mess with them. Or we could attack them early. Let's move this crate. Let's see what's over here. Now we gain some karma for moving there. Yeah, in this game, this is one of those games where fighting people doesn't necessarily get you karma and experience. Sometimes it's just the act of doing a request or an objective gets you karma. So killing people, sometimes you'll get rewards from them if they drop stuff. That's not always the case. So if I just move this and go on, I cannot fight this thing or fight these guys and be fine with it. But what will happen to us next? Will we find Raymond in good health? And what about Carter? Is she going to stick through the rest of the game? We'll find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.